Good evening. Welcome to the January 13th, 2025 Lebanon Board of Works meeting. Our first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, move on to the roll call members. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Sure. Mayor Gentry.
Here.
Becky McClure. Present. Bill Stoner.
Present.
Dick Robertson.
Here.
Alan Milburn.
Present.
Thank you.
We had the minutes correct, I believe.
We do. We have these three.
So we have October 28th, November 12th, and November 25th. Any changes to those minutes? Would entertain a motion to approve?
Make a motion, you want to do each one or all?
Just all one's fine.
I'll make a motion, we approve all the minutes.
Motion approves. Our second.
Second.
Second from Judge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, minutes are approved. On to department head reports. First up will be Police Department, Chief Morgan.
Good evening, board members. Since our last meeting, the Lebanon Police Department has responded to 94 calls for service, and a total of 19 people were arrested for the following crimes. 9 for operating while intoxicated, 1 was wanted on a warrant, 2 for domestic battery, 1 for possession of meth, 2 for intimidation, 1 for public intoxication, 1 for unlawful possession of a alleged drug, 1 for theft, 1 for possession of child pornography. In that same time frame, we sent off 2 gun permits to the state for final approval, and we covered 30 crash reports. I don't have any training yet for this year, but I did want to let you guys know our 2 newest officers started last Wednesday, Jeff Dixon and Justin Rose. They're currently getting their uniforms and getting everything situated. Both of those officers have a few years of experience already. They were both laterals. And that leaves us with 1 spot open, and we potentially have 1 more lateral, which will save the city a lot of money and make it easier for us.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief from the board?
No.
Okay. From the public? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, no fire department report. Chief Bass is under the weather tonight. So next will be Parks Department. John Messenger.
Good evening. Happy New Year, everybody. There you go. Been busy with all the snow, obviously. Had a couple big snows, so we made sure all the parks were opened up as far as downtown and also the Big Four and the dog park. Everything went real well, and all the equipment worked good, and the guys, real proud of them, did a nice job. Christmas lights, I know everybody loves to see Christmas lights. They'll be up for a little bit longer. Need to keep the old decorations and all that. You try and yank them out of the ground, they'll break them. They're pretty brittle. They're older. So we're going to keep them lit up for a while. We will be removing the Christmas tree downtown on Friday. It looks like it's going to be nicer weather, but some of this snow needs to go away for the decorations around the park. I think it looks pretty. It's LED lights, so it really isn't hitting the pocketbook. So that's
Never
a
gotten
good
a
thing.
complaint the Christmas lights are out too long. So
I know.
As long as
I
we
had
get
a
into
couple.
February, I think we'll be okay.
Right.
There you go. I had a couple joggers actually appreciate it. Yeah, Shelly, I think she's a cross-country coach. She runs it every morning at 5, and she loves it. So you'll be seeing them for a little bit longer. We are currently hiring for full-time maintenance positions. We have 2 openings. Applications can be found on our website and turned into the Parks office. We start our interviews for maintenance Tuesday of next week. So we've already started contacting. I think we have 9 applicants already, which is very encouraging and looks like some good ones. So we'll hire those 2 probably by March is what we're looking at when we really start to pick it up and get busy. You can also email to the parks or at lebanon.in.gov. Our pool party calendar is now open. It's already about 50% full. So if you'd like a pool party for this year, better get it booked. That's all I got to say. Pricing stayed the same from last year, so very popular. And anyway, already about halfway full. programs and events. We'll be hosting our first round of open interviews this Wednesday, January 15th, for this 2025 summer season at Seashore Water Park. Hiring for both lifeguards and concession stands, lean heavy on the lifeguards. We have about 20 openings, so really looking forward to a bunch of new faces this year. Applicants must be at least 15 years old, and please be sure to bring your completed application with you. Come to the Parks office anytime between 3:30 and 7:30. Again, that's this Wednesday, and hope to see you there. We'll be hosting our second round of open interviews on Saturday, February 1st. If you're not available for this Wednesday, want to thank the clerk's office too. They're coming out and helping with the paperwork situation because we'll probably hire quite a few on the spot. So if you can, get out there this Wednesday. Thank you to everyone who participated in our blanket fort contest. The big winners, were Joel and Levi from the King family. All of the entries were very creative, and we loved seeing them all. And there again, we're running the 2025 Snowman Contest. Be sure to build your best and most creative snowman for a chance to win a prize at the Parks Department. Pictures will be accepted until February 14th, and you can email again to parks@lebanon.in.gov. That's pretty much all we had. We have quite a bit of training going on with all the maintenance staff. Have some tomorrow for several of them, getting our license, going to Purdue, and continuing the education. So that's where we're at.
Questions for John from the board? Anyone from the public? Yep. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next will be Engineering Department, Kevin Krulik.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Happy New Year. Engineering report, just giving you a few updates on projects. Not a whole lot going on with the temperatures as it is, but still tracking a few things, still working on plenty of stuff to keep us busy. Regional detention, bringing that up again, just because we've requested some proposal from our consultants to begin putting together the bidding, permitting, and construction documents for that project. And this will be pending some funding decisions that will go before this board and the council later in the month. So we are tracking that and hoping to try to gear that up in the next year or so. Grant Street Phase 1, I know that project is essentially done, but I just wanted to update you that we're working with NDOT on some potential liquidated damage claims with the contractor on that. So we may be able to recoup some of that $393,000 we had to put out. So I'll keep you posted on that if anything comes forward. But we want to thank NDOT because they brought that to us as a potential option. Grant Street Phase 2 is out there and moving forward. Over the last few weeks, we've been waiting on responses to an RFP that we put out, or an RFQ, excuse me, for inspection. It's just around the corner before we'll be thinking about construction, and that project bids in July of this year, and we'll go to construction probably with utility relocations late next year, and then full construction in the spring. So we had 12 proposals, 12 letters of interest put together that the mayor and myself and Jason Lawson and Zach Burge are going to be reviewing, and we'll put together our scores and come back to you with a recommendation on that. Elizaville, Elm Swamp area. We are also looking at potential funding requests for those intersection improvements that will be coming before council later in the month as well. Fordyce Street, really it's kind of slowed down the last couple of weeks, but there was a flurry of activity shortly before the holidays. We've completed all curbs, all asphalt, all residential drives, all the residential sidewalks east of Grant Street, and we've now completed all the utility relocations west of Grant Street. So we're kind of dormant right now, but the next things that you'll see happening as the weather begins to break would be construction of the school drives, adjusting of castings, miscellaneous sidewalk tie-ins and path tie-ins, and then all the work west of Grant Street really will go full speed later in the spring as we wrap up that project in August of this year before school starts.
Hey, Kevin, quick question.
Yeah.
Will Fordyce west of Grant Street have to close during construction, or that would still be kind of a local access or one-way or
We
TBD?
will, we will close it to through traffic.
Okay.
But, you know, if you live on the street, the contractor is required to maintain access, obviously, for everyone that lives through there. But it'll be similar to how east of Grant Street is, where there's staggered barricades on either end. It will say road closed, just to kind of keep people from trying to drive through there. It's a much less comprehensive construction schedule, I guess, for the area west of Grant. It's not a full reconstruction. Most of the storm sewer in that area is in relatively good shape. Sanitary and water were replaced recently under separate projects. So essentially, this is a sidewalk, curbs, and then a asphalt wedge and level. So that's you're not seeing this go all the way down to subgrade below utilities. So it will be a much easier level of detail on that construction than what we were used to east of Grant Street or on Grant Street as well. So
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was, there still will be road closed signs, but it's not going to be.
There
a
will be.
Total restriction. Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, but I have a question on that too. I mean, I know that it's been, even though the street at Fordyce is closed from Grant East,
Mhm.
it's open to get down and into Cedar Ridge.
Absolutely. Well, I think the Cedar Ridge Drive has been closed a lot. So some of the Cedar Ridge neighbors have had to go out the back entrance of Cedar Ridge.
The reason I'm asking, the barriers are up at Centenary on that right, before you even get to Cedar Ridge.
Right.
To come in. So we're still using that back street to come around and come in the back of the church.
Exactly.
But that's becoming a little bit of an issue too. But I was trying to figure out why, if it's open down there, why are the barriers at Centenary that you can't come in there?
I think it is. We could look into that and talk more with the contractor. I think it's been just trying to separate traffic and keep as much traffic off of the road as we can so they can work, which obviously was a lot more important when there was a lot of active construction. But now that the road has been paved, really they're just talking about, some final touches that have to be done. So perhaps we can lift that and start looking at when we can remove that temporary entrance that we created to the north. Yep, I'll make a note to follow up with the contractors on that. Anything else on Fordyce? A lot going on there. Okay. Let's talk about, Whit Road's really the next on the list. The only thing happening there is we're beginning to move from design and environmental document completion into right-of-way engineering, right-of-way buying. We're just getting ready to get teed up for that. That's supposed to really start in May after we get full approval on the environmental document. Noble Street, a little further behind than Whit Road, is out there. Survey work has been ongoing for the last couple of weeks. And that's basically all that's happening right now, but we are gearing up for funding request associated with that project as well. 180 makeover program, Boone County Cake Company, first one on the list. Really all the ready funding at this point has been requested. So the remainder of the work is all private match, and per the subrecipient agreement, all the private match has to be completed by the end of 2026. So we got a little while, and I fully do not expect them to take till 2026. They'll be ready to wrap that up. Really, as soon as the weather breaks, there's some weather dependent, temperature dependent epoxy work that can only happen once we've got consistently warm temperatures. So that's really the last thing to happen on the Cake Company project. Oaks on Main, the HVAC work started last week and is moving forward there. Then we've got Lido, Collier's Corner, and Eichmann. Basically, those are going through funding requests for RDC facade restoration grants, and I think those will be wrapped up in January and or February, and then be moving those projects forward with bidding of the ready projects. The ready work on all projects has to be done by the end of this year, and then all the private match has to be completed by the end of 2026. Park projects, let's jump into those. A Stone Eater, I just want to bring that up because I was contacted by our designer, Nat Lopes of Hill Ride last week, who wants to set up meetings with us and Trek, as in Trek Bicycle Corporation, who is beginning to show a lot of interest at funding trails and bike park projects around the country. And so we're going to have a conversation with the executives at Trek and see if that might provide any fruit there for future build out, future phases. Other than that, though, there's just some minor work that we'll continue to monitor up there as we work out the kinks on the operation of the park. Old Street Garage, again, we're probably just waiting on a funding request on this one later in the month. Really, this year, though, we'll just be focusing on potentially demolishing the existing buildings and wiping the slate clear, if you will. Other park projects getting ready to go. We've got the pickleball court project teed up. Construction has to be completed by July. Abner Longley Park Fishing Pier, just wrapping up punch list repairs. We've also got a contract that's been awarded on the railing fabrications for the ADA ramp associated with the pier. That'll be going in here later in the spring. We've got the Big Four Trailhead also under contract with Midwest Paving to complete that work by early summer. And we're also examining different lighting projects with that site, as well as the portalet enclosures. I guess my thoughts and prayers go out to our portalet enclosure contractor. I found out today that they had a massive fire at the end of last year at their facility in downtown Indianapolis that was basically a total loss. But they have been working through that, and they'll be remobilizing later this week to resume some of that construction on our portalet enclosures. So we still have portalet enclosures to be finished up at the dog park, at Hot Pond, some finishing touches on the one at Reese Park, although that's pretty well complete. And then at this, the Big Four Trailhead there on Sam Ralston Road that I just mentioned is also still outstanding. New fire station. We are working through different funding strategies for consideration, and potentially gives us the opportunity to start that construction this summer. We're working through some redesigns that would include unisex locker rooms and some different shower facilities in the facility. And as soon as we have those finalized, we'll be coming back, going through that process, through the BOT process. DPW projects, we are also under construction for the 2025 resurfacing program. It's the same contractor that we worked with this year, DC Construction. Schedule is yet to be determined, but work has to be wrapped up by August 1st. And then Leap District Road projects, really the main work right now was before, since we last met, which is on December 9th. They really completed the work up on South Witt Road, and with the exception of some minor tie-ins of asphalt and concrete work, that project is nearing completion, substantially complete at this point. And then we are just waiting on CSX to show up on 375 and 450 North to install the closing arms on those crossings, and that will complete that project. And that's all I have.
Hey, Kevin, any questions for Kevin from the board? Anything from the public? Okay, thank you, sir. All right, next up is Planning Department, Ben Botcher.
Good evening, board members. Since the December 23rd, I guess it was the special meeting you guys had, the planning department completed 55 building inspections and issued 36 permits. Certainly with the holidays and the weather, I've seen a little bit of slowdown over the last 3 weeks, but of those 36 permits, we do have 2 new residential single family permits and then also a new commercial permit. So still seeing some good activity there. I did not have a chance to put together the year-end numbers for you tonight, so I'll have those at the next meeting. I would anticipate that our residential numbers were down from 2023 because we didn't have as many active neighborhoods under construction, but I would expect our commercial permit numbers to be quite a bit higher than the previous year. So I will definitely provide you those year-end numbers at your next meeting so we can review where we were in 2024 as compared to 2023. Only other project update I have is comprehensive plan. Our consultant is drafting the final document as we speak. And so I would expect to see that either at the February or March Plan Commission meeting and working its way through the adoption process at the time. But a lot of work happening there to get that finished up and ready for approvals. On the code enforcement side, again, still a lot of activity taking place there, 89 different investigative activities over the last 3 weeks. and then 35 new cases. So we're still seeing a lot of case activity during the wintertime. So whereas I saw the permit numbers probably being a little bit lower in 2024, I think our case numbers in code enforcement are probably more than double what they were in 2023. So a lot of activity on the code enforcement side, and our code enforcement team has been doing a great job with that. So that is all I have for this time. I'd be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Ben, any questions for Ben from the board? From public? Yeah, thank you, sir. Next will be Public Works Department, Scott Calvert.
Good evening, Board. The Department of Public Works report, we had 4 snow events. We used 486 tons of salt and 486.5 man-hours on that effort. They replaced and repaired 6 street signs, and they also used 4 tons of cold patch on the potholes that are out there. We also began Christmas tree pickup, so you can put your trees out by the curb. Stormwater, they cleaned storm drains. They responded to 456 utility locates and assisted with the snow removal. They also repaired storm drain at the southwest corner of John Bart Road and Morningside Drive. For the inspection department, we did 7 SWIP inspections, 4 right-of-way inspections, and 4 complaints. That department was busy this month. We provided good housekeeping and spill response training to the entire department. Parker Lewis, I'm bringing him into the MS4 side a little bit. So he completed his EPA training for construction inspection sites. So we're going to start getting him out there on that side a little bit. Other certification news, I passed and got my certified professional and municipal stormwater management certificate.
Congratulations.
So thank you. Other news, the Boone County Partners, that's our group where we work with Zionsville, Whitestown, and Boone County for the MS4 programs. Our 2nd annual contractors workshop has been scheduled for February 6th. So we're getting out invites on that. And my only other news is anyone that's been to Auburn Meadows may notice the ponds are extremely full. We have a beaver problem out there. I'm working with the developer and the contractors on Angeli Gardens are going to start pumping down that pond so we can remove the dam. And then I've worked with Boone County. They're going to bring in a trapper. So hopefully we'll send him somewhere else.
Does he come in the outfit and all that stuff?
What's that?
Does he come in the trapper outfit or is it?
I'm hoping, yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully like coonskin cap, the works.
Okay. Got a beaver. Okay.
And that concludes.
Thanks, Scott. Any questions for Scott from the board? Okay. Thank you for the update. All right. And last but not least, I don't actually see Joe. So Scott was last but not least. That's right. All right. That concludes department head reports. Move on to old business. There's nothing on my agenda for the board. Anything from the board?
No.
Okay. New business then. A couple items here. First would be the declaration of surplus, some items, a salt box and a F550. Scott?
Yeah, so for surplus, we have what we're calling the old salt box. All the wiring is obsolete. It's not attached to a vehicle. We have no use for it. And its value is under $250.
Any questions on that from the board? Okay, entertain a motion then to declare the salt box or old salt box as surplus.
Make a motion, we declare the old salt box as surplus.
Motion, is there a second? Second from Dick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that has been declared surplus. All right, next will be the F550 snowplow. Bill, I think you've got the form on that, or Scott?
Scott's got the form
Oh,
on
okay.
that one. He had them on both of them.
Okay,
This is the Ford F550 snowplow, year 2016. We're going to trade it onto our lease program, so it'll be a surplus, and there's no value at this point. It's just going to be traded into enterprise.
Be a
For
lease
credit.
Lease trade in.
Yeah, right, lease trade-in.
was this one on our leasing before, or this is the last one, or one of the last ones off of the?
This is one that we own.
This is what priorly owned. Okay,
Right, right. It's not a
That's
lease for
why.
lease. Yeah.
okay, very good. Any questions on that from the board?
No.
Okay, then would entertain a motion then to declare the F-550 surplus.
Make a motion, we declare the F-550 snowplow truck 2016 as surplus.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Judge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that is approved. All right, thank you, Scott. All right, next up is secondary plat approval and acceptance, including surety acceptance for Angeli Gardens Section 1A.
Thank you very much. Trying to get some more lots for Ben for inspections. This is Angeli Gardens Section 1A. They're nearing completion on construction and would like to go ahead and get their secondary plat approved, make the proper, and that plat will then make the proper dedications of rights of way and public works, and then post the appropriate sureties for all of those improvements. So again, asking for acceptance of the Angeli Gardens Section 1A secondary plat and associated sureties.
Any questions on that from the board? Okay, I would entertain a motion then to approve as presented.
I'll make a motion that we approve as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Second from Bill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. All right, next up, item D, contract change order approval for Fordyce Road, number 8 and 9.
Thank you very much. Two change orders here that are for the contract on Fordyce Road. Change order number 8 is for $13,897.47. This is to lower a water main at Atlas Drive to avoid some conflict. It's my understanding that although this is a $13,897.47 change order to the contract, we will be compensated for this amount by Lebanon Utilities.
Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, entertain a motion then to approve change order number 8 for Fordyce Road.
I'll make a motion, we approve change order number 8
Motion,
for Fordyce Street.
motion, is there a second?
Second.
A second from Bill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, change order number 9.
Thank you very much. Change order number 9 is actually we in order to expedite paving of the trail, we changed the pavement cross section on that. It's still an equally structurally, it's still an equal cross section, but we were able to do it in one pass of asphalt as opposed to the normal 2 passes. And so, sorry, I don't have the total written down here, but this dropped the asphalt paving from $127,512 down to $113,652. So this is a negative change order of approximately $14,000.
Any questions on that from the board? Okay, we'll entertain a motion then to approve change order number 9.
I'll make a
Motion
motion,
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve change order number 9 as presented.
Motion to approve from Al. Is there a second? Second from Dick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that is approved.
Thank you.
Missy, did you have something? No? Okay, just enjoying the meeting. Okay, very good. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, that concludes what I have for new business. Anything from the board?
No.
Okay, move on to claims. So entertain a motion concerning the claims.
Make a motion, we approve the claims.
Motion to approve the claims. Is there a second? Second from Judge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, claims are approved. Our next Board of Works meeting will be January 27th at 6:15 PM. With that, we're entertaining a motion to adjourn.
Motion, we adjourn.
Motion adjourned. Is there a second? Second from Judge. On favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, we are adjourned. RD Redevelopment Commission is up next.